Well, thank you, Andrew, and can I start by thanking you and the team here at the Peninsula Civic Trust for organising this great initiative, particularly to Marcia Horvey, Peter Waite, and I know Brian Ash is not here today, but he has been a great champion for this organisation and this community for many years. I too would like to thank my opponents in this election. Whilst I may not agree with your politics, I will always agree with your right to stand and advocate for what you believe in. That's what makes our democracy great. That's what makes our community great. So thank you for what you're doing, standing up for your beliefs and making our democracy stronger and more robust. Could I finally take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight, for engaging in this important process. Because what is at stake is nothing less than the future of our state of New South Wales, and indeed the future of our community right here in Hornsby. Now, we've come a long way in 4 years. In 2011, when there was a change in government, we had the highest rate of unemployment in the country. We had the slowest rate of economic growth in the Commonwealth, and we had a $30 billion infrastructure backlog that was crippling our cities, crippling our state. Locally, things were not as they should be either. All of you know the horror stories of our local hospital. Every time it rained, doctors and nurses would have to put out buckets and towels. They'd trip over power cables in the operating theatres. And most shamefully, what sums up Labor's failure to our community was the fact that possums were allowed to run rife in our operating theatres. This is not some third world country. This was 45 minutes from the Sydney CBD. It was a disgrace. Our communities of Galston and Cowan lacked the basic infrastructure. They weren't connected to the sewage system. Those residents in the northwest of our community didn't have a viable public transport solution. There are 600,000 people about to be dumped on our doorstep in the northwestern suburbs, and Labor shamefully forgot to deliver them a viable public transport solution. Now, we've taken some tough decisions since coming to office. Not all of them have been popular, but we've done them to get the state moving again. We've capped public sector wages. We've reduced the size of the public service. But we've done so to get the budget back in shape, to fix our economy, to pay down the debt and to reduce the deficit. Now, that's not an end in itself, but that's the means through which we deliver the infrastructure and services that communities like ours right across New South Wales have missed out on for too long. And locally, we've seen the results. We've seen the results. We're building the Northwest Railway. Finally, we're delivering that solution to residents of the Northwest. We've connected our communities of Galston and Cowan to the sewage system. No longer do the families of those suburbs have to pay for the costly pump out, which they've been experiencing for too long. And we have Hornsby Hospital redevelopment underway. We're about to open the stage 1 redevelopment, new surgeries, new theatres, new wards for our community to enjoy. Patients in our community will no longer be treated like third world citizens. They'll be treated with the respect that they deserve. But in New South Wales, we've turned around our economy. We now have the highest rate of economic growth. We have the lowest rate of unemployment. We're getting New South Wales moving again. Now, at this election, I stand before you with a positive plan for New South Wales and a positive plan for our community here in Hornsby. Part of that plan for New South Wales is releasing some of the capital tied up in our state's electricity assets. Those assets will remain in public hands. 51% of the assets will stay in public hands, but we'll rent out 49% of the assets in order that we can build the schools, build the hospitals, build the roads and the public transport links that will transform the lives of everyone in this room, everyone in our community, indeed everyone in our state. And if it was such a bad idea, then why did Labor Premier Kean want to do it? Why did Labor Premier Gemma want to do it? They wanted to do it because they realised, like we realised, it's the best thing to transform this state. The reason they couldn't do it, because they couldn't get it past their paymasters in the union movement. Locally, we've got a plan also. You would have seen me announce recently that we will complete the rebuild of Hornsby Hospital. We've already spent $120 million on this great community facility, but there's still more to do. We've got on the table $200 million to complete the hospital, to give us finally the best hospital in the state that will provide our community, service our community for generations to come. It will be up there with the best teaching hospitals in the country, and it's a Baird Liberal government that will deliver it. We've got a positive plan to build the North West Rail Link. That will increase capacity on our rail network by 60%. That means more services to the city for residents of Pennant Hills on the Northern Line, more express services, more frequent services. It's a great win for our community. We'll build North Connects. We'll build North Connects. Those of you in Pennant Hills know the importance of that project. Our suburb will be returned to the community which has been destroyed for too long. This is not some new thought bubble. This is something that's been talked about for decades. The original County of Cumberland plan in 1951 said that we needed a direct link from the city to Newcastle, and finally, a Baird Liberal government is delivering it. Finally tonight as well, for the first time, I want to tell you about my plan to fix a problem that's plagued our community for well over a decade. The Hornsby Quarry is something that we have all paid for. It's been a mess for far too long. Hornsby Council was lumped with this big bottomless money pit, and we were forced to pay $33 million for it. Each and every one of us was levied with a special rate variation. We're still paying it off today. And right now, we're not able to use it. If a Baird Liberal government is elected, if I'm elected again as the member for Hornsby, then I will be working with council and the federal government to fix this mess once and for all. We're going to remediate the quarry, and we're going to turn it into the Centennial Park of our district. We're going to turn it into the People's Park. We're talking walking tracks, bike trails, picnic areas, public open space, sporting fields for us to enjoy today, for future generations to enjoy tomorrow. So do not be fooled by a scare campaign run by those who have the most to lose, the union movement. Because they're the ones who have most to lose by privatising or leasing these assets. Because they perform maintenance on this diminishing asset. And what is at stake here for them is their special privileges and perks paid for by you. We have a positive plan for New South Wales. We're going to build the schools, hospitals, roads and public transport that will not only benefit everyone in this community, everyone in New South Wales, but it will also underpin economic growth in this state for generations to come. So today I submit to you. I seek your support to deliver our positive plan across New South Wales, our positive plan in Hornsby. The battle lines are drawn, the choice is yours. I ask for your support.